Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. This is a special edition, however. It's being recorded on October 30th of 2021 because tomorrow is Halloween. And for any of you who have known me for half a second, you know that Halloween is, well, it's my favorite holiday. So there are festivities planned there today, pumpkin carving and candy eating and pumpkin seed eating and decorating. And tomorrow, a little bit of an outside haunted house, not over the top. I've been doing this for years, but definitely festive. So, with no time to waste, I knew that I probably should do my recording a little bit early, and why not? Thank you to everyone for joining me. It is, I love that you're here. For those of you who are new, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com. That's lisahopp.com for all about my services. I have clients all over the world. Services are available, most services, not only in person, but also by telephone and also by Zoom. So check them out. Now, I have a dual topic today. This is such an extraordinary time of year because it really is a time of year where the veil has thinned. And I have felt and seen spirit around more than ever. But also, one of the services that I provide is as a channel. I channel messages from angels, spirit guides, ascended masters. Ascended masters, by the way, are those that are perhaps Jesus, Blessed Mother Mary, Moses, Buddha, and even lesser famous ascended masters. And that is available also on my website if you would like a channeled message that is personalized to you. Sometimes people, actually a lot this week, people ordered a channeled message and asked a question with that message that is also available for whatever being they wanted to hear from. Now I have to say to you, and I know I've said this before, that channeling was something I had to come into because I would hear people channeling or see people channeling, and I would be a bit of a skeptic about it. How do we really know the channeling? That this is an authentic event. But I began to hear things in channelings that my gut knew was truth. So I thought, okay, even if it's not being purely channeled, I know the information is correct, is truthful. So maybe I'll take a little listen. And then one day, I happened to see a book in Barnes & Noble, the book reseller or seller, and it was about channeling and how to channel for yourself. And I tried it out, and my journey of channeling went right from there, because right in the bookstore, I was able to rise up to the Akashic Records, which is also what I channeled, though that is preferred to be within my office to channel, because I do really let myself go with that. That is I'm more of an audience member with that channeling. But my journey started there with channeling from the Akashic Records, which are the records of your life, and from the spirit guides that hold the records of your life. So this was many years ago, by the way. I would say probably at least 20 or more. And so it has been a journey, and now it's a natural part of my work. And it has helped people. And that's the only reason why I do the work that I do, is in order to serve others. So this week, there were a good number of channeling requests. And one of the requests, it was for an ascended master. And so that is why I have the dual topic today. I would like to talk to you about the thinning of the veil and why your loved ones would be around you, that I also would like to give you a bit of a mini message from the Ascended Master known as Jesus Christ. And that I would like to say to you that some of you may not be comfortable hearing a channeled message, especially from Jesus. We all have our own stories. We all come from our own perspectives. And if that isn't true, if you're not ready to listen to that message, then please move forward. And perhaps at another time you will be ready. This podcast does appear on YouTube to a public audience. And I will tell you that if any comments are negative, I will delete them. I don't want to shut down all comments, but I will delete the negative ones because it's just my intention to keep my site more positive and not to allow whomever to post there, because it just opens up doors and windows to negativity, and negativity never serves. So I will say that. Now, I come from a background of being raised Catholic, and I have a strong faith, honestly, about that I have a strong faith formed. My spirituality was formed through my Catholic upbringing, and there are a lot of mediums, and I am one, that were raised Catholic and formed their faith and honed their abilities starting with that faith. Strong faith in a Blessed Mother Mary, in Jesus, in the apostles, in that strong connection has helped all of us who were raised in that faith and who are mediums to move forward and to strengthen those abilities. What I'm saying to you is that in my childhood background of having a connection with those energies, I went on to serve because of that connection, whether it be hearing or seeing or feeling. And so it is hopeful that all mediums would be serving for the higher good, be discerning about that. They should be, hopefully. It is a vocation that you're called to. It's not really normal. It's normal to have a connection to heaven, maybe not normal. It's not a normal profession. It's an alternative profession. It used to be on Unsolved Mysteries, didn't it? Here many decades ago on TV. But it's one that you take on, hopefully, because you are called. And I know I was called to do it as part of what I call my practice. It's a large part of my practice. I also do hypnotherapy, healing work, a teacher, and so a life coach. So I am a law of attraction coach. So I do a variety of things, but it is large and it's been helpful. It's a healing tool, and I am very grateful for that. If anything I serve with is not helpful at any point in my life, I would stop doing it. But so far, the outcomes are positive, and it has been a wonderful healing tool for those who come to receive it. And again, I am very humbled and very grateful. So I don't want to jump ahead. I actually want to save the channeling for last. So I'm going to jump ahead right now to talking to you about this time of year and why I love Halloween so much. Because the energies of the other dimensions are around us more than ever. The veil just thins. It's the fall equinox. It's the changing of the energies around us. Happens naturally, whether you want it to or not. So I feel when it arrives. I'm like, oh, it's here. Wonderful. Feel that little tap on the shoulder a little bit more. I see the shadows a little bit more. And your loved ones in spirit are probably I would say, if I had to estimate, a half inch around you at any moment. There's always at least one of your departed loved ones right next to you at all times. But the wonderful thing is, even when they're not right next to you, they can hear you and they can feel you in every way. So you are an open book to heaven, by the way, to that other dimension. And so if you have privacy issues, which I can't imagine people really having it, because pretty much all of us have a cell phone that can be tapped into at any time, or a computer that can be tracked. But if you do, well, you're being heard. But you're not being heard with judgment or for nefarious means. You're being heard, and your loved ones in spirit are trying to help you because they love you. And the wonderful thing is, even the ones you didn't know love you. Even the ones that passed before your time on earth love you. And they look at you like the pure spirit that God looks at you as. Pure energy, pure love. They smile when you have a bad day, not smiling, laughing at you. But when I mean a bad day, I mean if you have a day where you're cranky or snarky or mean, they know that it will pass most likely, and they try to help you through it. They're not looking at you with disappointment. They're not looking at now that can they become frustrated in that you're not hearing them and that you're blocking their help. Sure, but they don't give up. They don't give up. I personally love that I have an entourage that's with me at all times, looking out for me, loving me, knowing who I truly am. No, and they know who you truly are. And I have to say, most if not all, of those that would listen to my podcast are those that are trying to have the best life, the best spirit. They are trying to have the best energy. They're trying to do the best they can. And so you have loved ones that are helping you. Now, I have to say to you that's often the one that is helping you the most, or perhaps the ones that hurt you the most, or the ones you would say, I do not love. But they're the ones that want to offer the most help because they want to heal it. And they know from heaven they can offer the most help and they can start the healing. So it maybe is the ones you most don't want to hear from. They're the ones that are most around you. And so that's just, what is important for you to know. Now, sometimes we assume that someone is in hell. You can never assume. You can never assume. Because this consciousness is love. And this consciousness of this other realm is unconditional. And so there may be a villain there. There may be someone who is harmful there. We can put ourselves into a personal hell, but we are always assisted. We are never left alone. And so hell is by definition not perhaps what traditionally we were taught. But it can have an existence. But time can heal all wounds. And heaven would say that any soul is redeemable. So keep that in mind when you're judging or assuming, because it cannot be assumed. It cannot. Now, I will say sometimes that there are souls that would love to be evil. I just think, for instance, a soul like Charles Manson would have fun being evil. But I would never assume that he's not in heaven. Because though I have learned a lot in my spiritual journey and as a spiritual teacher, I would not say I have all the information. No one does. We find out so many miracles and so many answers and so many surprises when we go to heaven. We find out about more children that we could have had. We find out about where our path could have gone. We find out about those moments we were saved that we didn't know it. We find out about why that didn't work out, why that person served us the way they did. We find out all when we go to heaven, but we cannot really truly know the all here, no matter how much we're tapped in. And plus, and this is a good thing, it is ever changing. At any point you can make a decision that really tweaks your whole path. There's the overall will can make a decision that changes the path. There have been elections that have been decided at the very last moment. There have been moments in your life that have been decided in the very last moment. It is all about will, your personal will, and the overall will. And so one little moment can flip everything around. But that doesn't mean that you should live in fear or should not feel you have power. You have the power to create your future. You have the power to intend and have what you want for yourself. You are very powerful. You are not a puppet. But yes, the overall can change. And that is why prayer is so powerful. Why group prayer is so powerful, because it's a large will. And so if a group of people are praying for a great outcome, it's very powerful. But so is your personal prayer life. So I always tell my clients to come from a place of not letting it go with acceptance, but forgiveness. Meaning, you don't have to let someone off the hook and just forgive and forget. But you do always and should always, for the higher good and your higher good, send them positive energy, healing, warmth, happiness, especially to those who have done you the most wrong. Forgive them, because through your forgiveness of them, you heal yourself and your life. And yes, they get a boost too. It's a win-win, but it's the way to bring the better and the best to you. So it's so very important. You cannot have the best health, the best abundance, and the best love in your life if you're harboring resentments or feeling hate or anger, rage, unforgiveness. It just inhibits everything that you would want. And that's actually a part of the message that you're going to hear from Jesus a little bit later. So it's very important to know that even though it can be hard, it is worth the effort, and it must be authentic. You can't fake it. So how do you connect and feel that thinner energy this time of year? Center yourself in the moment. Live your life as high energy and as happy as possible. And then notice what's happening around you. If you look for it, you won't see it because you thicken the veil. The veil is so easy to thicken. Kind of drives me crazy. But the way to keep it thin is to notice what is happening out of the corner of my eyes. What did I just see behind me or at the top of the stair? Do I smell a smell that's unusual? Are there synchronicities happening around me? And then just acknowledge them. Thank you. Whenever you see signs or feel signs or know a presence, it's always positive. Always. Even if there is something sad about to happen or a struggle, your loved ones in spirit being around you is always, we're here to help. So it's always positive, or yes, or it's going to be all right. So notice what's happening around you, acknowledgement, thank you, and then go about your world and see what else you notice. The more you notice them around, the more that you'll get them around. because they'll respond to you noticing, and they'll increase it. They will increase it. They will also increase it if you're not noticing, to try and get you to notice, but they will respond happily to your acknowledgement, so it's worth it. It is. You all are driving around or riding around with people in your car. You also have angels and spirit guides that are around you as well. You have people that visit you at night just to do their rounds and maybe talk to you and give you answers, or just make sure that you're okay, comfort you, help you to sleep. We all have assistance. We never are here alone, and not a one of us will ever pass alone. And I want that to be a great comfort to you, because life can be harder. Life can be a challenge, but there's a purpose to the challenges, believe it or not. And I know it's not fair that sometimes it's harder for some than others, but never assume another story, because those that you think have it easier, you may just not know. You probably just don't know. And so we're all living our own experience and our own challenges. And so know that rather than have it keep you up at night, hand it over to your departed loved ones, your angels, your spirit guides, God, Mary, whomever you want to hand it over to. They will take it. They, with your free will, handing it over to them, they will take it and they will work on it. They're working on it anyway, but when you give them permission, gives them the ability to work on it even more. So do that. Don't allow yourself to be up at night with worry. Don't allow yourself to have worry at all. It's the number one regret in heaven, by the way, when people pass. Your loved ones say, I found out that worry was a complete wasted time. It never changed one outcome. It only took away my happiness and my serenity and my peace. So keep that in mind, okay, when you go to worry. Just give it over and then go about your life with full faith and knowing that everything will be okay. All storms pass. Your loved ones are always near. Even if they don't always give you the loudest hello. So this week, as I told you, I was in a position to channel. There were a lot of requests. People are wanting to, they need to be connected to heaven more than ever. They need to have that, it's going to be all right, or what do I do? That guidance. And channeling is a good way to go. Though, when you do get a channeled message from angels or spirit guides or ascended masters, it is from a higher realm. So sometimes they talk very higher and use bigger words. So sometimes I may help with that in some way, and sometimes I don't, depending on each channeling. But sometimes these channelings have to be looked at over time in order to really come to know their full meaning. And they will talk to you about life purpose, often in relationships and health, and anything they feel is important for you to know. So when I was about to channel this week, I asked for the particular Ascended Master to come through for my client, and I heard and felt Christ. Christ. And I immediately went into validating and making sure that I had it correct, that I had heard correctly, that I had felt correctly. I do that. Do I have this correct? I have to make sure. And I saw that Christ was next to me and that there was Ascended Master for the client apart in front of me. So I knew I had two. And I knew that Christ was there to talk to me at that moment, which, by the way, often, probably never, it very often doesn't happen. I don't know that it's even happened before, that I would go to channel for someone and have them use the phone line to speak to me. But I understood that this was a moment for me that was very much a gift. At first, I did not say anything. I wanted to wait and see if something was said to me, but there was no communication. So I used the opportunity to speak. And my opportunity when I spoke was what was troubling on that particular day, which was just the other day. I said to Christ, I'm very scared right now by the negativity, by the lies that are happening, the misinformation, the intentions of people who are using lies and fear and triggering right now in this world. I felt like during that particular day, the other day, that particular moment, that those that were not for the good were winning. So I asked Jesus, what should I do with this? What should I do about this? Are they winning? And what role am I going to play? Or should I play? And the exact answer was that the earth right now is surrounded in a web of lies. Yes. But that web will tear. It will fray. And the truth will come forward. And the truth will start to prevail and win out. And I was told what I should do. And this is why I'm sharing it, because it was personal. A personal answer. But I'm sharing it because I felt it was for all of us to hear that would be listening to my podcast today. I was told by Christ that the way to help with this was not to be triggered by it. And the way to help with health and restoration of health, the way to help with relationships and love and restoration, the way to even help with abundance, was to connect into the energies of heaven. He said to be home more. Now, what is home? Going home more, being in that oneness with heaven, is achieved through meditation. I have been able to do that when I channel. I have also been in the energy of heaven once and felt what it was like, just for very few moments, but enough to remember it. It is lightness of being. It is non-physical. It is immeasurable love. It is immeasurable adoration and acceptance. It's love that is greater than many of us can experience here. Perhaps the love of your child is very close. Or a love of someone else who is precious, very close. So he said to me, you must connect into that, well, all the time. Connect into that oneness of home. And you will know and I'm telling you this, he knows I've experienced it, and he knows I can meditate into it, that I can center myself and release my physical body and become one with that energy. But how do you do it? You can breathe up. You can perhaps count to 4, breathing in, count to 4, breathing out, and see yourself rising up, rising up, rising up. But you can also just center yourself with the intention of connecting into that energy, and with practice do the same. And you'll know you're there if you don't have a worry in the world. If you feel that you are not of your body, that you feel light as a feather. And when you are there, your body will heal. It will restore itself. You will get the answers to how to heal all in your life. And you will not be able to be triggered by hate, bigotry, lies, violence, or anything that is dishonest whatsoever. You'll just be all right. You'll just be in the know. And then he emphasized again, love. That the answer to the all is love. Any question, any dilemma is love. Now when it comes to perhaps an abuser, someone who's really done grave things, love is hard. But you can still connect into the oneness of home, into that one, and still have that lightness of being. You do not have to connect into a human person and find it. You go to heaven. You connect there. We all have the ability to connect to heaven. We all have the phone line. We all can be there at any moment. And it is achieved through meditation. It is achieved in any way. When I say meditation, I mean you can achieve it through various means. I breathe up or center myself. Perhaps it helps you to be kneeling at a statue of the Blessed Mother Mary or Jesus. Perhaps it helps you to be at a grotto where one of these masters have appeared. Perhaps it helps you to stare at a candle. Whatever helps you to connect into home, which is that heavenly dimension, is the way to heal your life. And when you connect into that oneness of home, you also connect into abundance. So the wealthiest, the ones that keep their wealth, the ones that give it away to charity, they keep receiving it back. What they give out, they get back. What they give out, they get back. Multiplied. Because they are connected into, in some level, that oneness. So, what I'm telling you is money is not the root of all evil. It's what people decide to be and do can be rooted in that. And so, that's a symbol, by the way, money, of abundance. But health is also abundance, and love is also abundance. So abundance shows itself in various means. I also asked Christ about some of the things that are out there that say that we're in times where we can be harmed by science or healthcare. I got a very positive reaction, while there are individual stories. I did not get a feeling that anything happening that is meant to help us right now is harmful in the way of science. And I'm touching upon that lightly because this channeling is not meant to mislead nor go against free will. That was more of a personal request from personal experiences recently. But I wanted to touch on that just in case, ever so lightly. There's much love coming at all of you from the masters, from heaven, from that God energy, from your loved ones. Use it to go towards this course in life, to help you with your story. You're allowed to be down on your knees in your gravest hour. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to yell. You're allowed to be angry at God at times, because our grief can be raw and our circumstances can be very challenging. You're allowed moments. They understand you. Heaven is a safe space. Your loved ones, God, Jesus, Mary, all the masters, all the angels, all the spirit guides are a safe space. Go there. Connect into that oneness. You'll know it if you feel light as a feather. You'll know it if you're smiling naturally. I hope that sharing that brief message connected with you. Thank you all for joining me on this Halloween weekend. If you don't celebrate Halloween, well, still enjoy the day. If you do, have fun. Be safe. Take care. Many blessings to all of you. And be sure to go on my website, lisahop.com. Learn all about my services. And if you're getting this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. I'd appreciate it so very much. Thank you. Oh, on Facebook too, under Spirit Teacher Lisa Hop. There's more to come from me, by the way. 2022 is a branching out, revamping, coming back. Stay tuned. Thank you again, and many blessings.